Good evening to everyone. I'm Keertana B of third year BTech Biotechnology. Here I'm going to present my short topic on bioreactors and its applications. So, what is bioreactor? Bioreactor is a culture vessel where the biological reaction or complex changes takes place. It includes the enzymes, microorganisms, and a desired end product. So, the bioreactor is a place where we can maintain an optimum external environment to meet our needs of the biological reaction and what we expect as an end product, bioprocessed end product. So the bioreactor is commonly in the shape of cylindrical, has in quantity ranging from liters to cubic meters, which is often made up of stainless steel. So this is a typical diagrammatic representation of an bioreactor. So on the topmost there is a motor. It will be generating the shaft, and towards that there will be a baffle. Almost 6 baffles will be present in the commercial bioreactor, and for a large scale bioreactor it will be up to 8 baffles will be present. On the top of the bioreactor there will be the 3 to 5 inlets where we can input our airstream and antifoam particles and acid base to maintain our pH inside the bioreactor. And there is a cold water outlet to maintain the water temperature inside the bioreactor. And the impellers present in the baffle will break down the bubbles inside the bioreactor to prevent the bubbles and the foam form inside the bioreactor. And these are the samples we use in the bioreactor, like organisms growing in bioreactors may be in submerged or in the suspension condition. The suspension conditions use a wider variety of organisms, so they having special attachment services are not needed, and it can be applied to basically all type of biocatalysis, including the enzymes, cellular organelles, animals and plant cells. And the immobilization is useful for this process, since the organism will not be removed with the reactor effluents, so the microbes are only present on the surfaces of the vessels. So these are the important parts present inside the bioreactor, that is agitator, baffle, sparger and jacket. Agitator will make a perfect homogeneous condition of our sample and they transport the nutrient and oxygen what we supplied inside the bioreactor. And the baffle, it is used to break the vortex or the bubble forming in the vessel. And the sparger, through the sparger we will be allowing the air to pass inside, so it will be rotating the sample and make an homogeneous condition. The jacket, which will we will be inloading the cool water to maintain the constant value of temperature inside the bioreactor. And these are some types of bioreactors, like continuous chilled tank bioreactor, bubble column bioreactor, airlift bioreactor, fluidized bed bioreactor, packed bed bioreactor, photobioreactor. And apart from that, we have also some feed batch bioreactors, mixed bioreactors. So we will be using these 6 types of bioreactors commonly in our industrial purposes. So in continuous chill bioreactor, the sparger, there will be a long sparger. It will evenly distribute the gas what we inlet in them, and the bubbles will be broken, and it will ensure the better growth of our cells. So in bubble column reactor, there will be not the presence of the moving part like a sparger, baffle. So there will be an empty column, and based on the principle of heat and mass transfer, it will be working. So there will be a wide range of residence time requirements and larger attributes of our desired sample. So in airlift bioreactor, the reactor is split into 2 parts. The one is the downer part and other is the riser part. In the riser part, we will be inletting the gas, and the riser part, in the downer part, it will be lows down. Based on this loop structure, the airlift reactor is categorized into two reactors, that is internal loop and external loop. So it will be reducing the risk of the contamination and will be mixing the efficient gas liquid dispersion. And fluidized bed reactors, it will be offering a higher efficiency in heat exchange compared to the other fixed beds like packed beds, and better temperature control due to the presence of the turbulent gas flow and the rapid circulation. So at the same time, the velocities does not cause any pressure drop issues, and smaller catalyst particles can also be employed in this fluidized bed reactors. In packed bed reactors, the advantage of using this is the higher conversion per weight of the catalyst than other catalytic reactors we used in following cases. The conversion is based on the amount of solid catalyst rather than the volume of reactor. Next, the photobioreactor. So it will be reproducing the cultivation condition with regard to environmental influences, reduced risk of contamination, and low CO2 losses and smaller area requirements. And coming to the applications of this bioreactors, it will be an most important thing in industrial cases, pharmaceutical cases, and in plant tissue culture units. So it may also refer to a device or system to grow the cells or tissues in the context of cell culture. So bioreactor plays a core role in bioprocessing. The stirred tank, continuous stirred tank bioreactors are commonly used in fermentation industries like production of cheese from rennet and etc. The bioreactor is a modular in nature and carry out all fermentation reaction in a single contained environment, and it is also being used in the tissue culture engineering. And the ethanol fermentation can be done by using the Saccharomyces cerevisiae in this type of bioreactors. And what I have been studying in my course about the bioreactors, in microbiology, we have been studying the mass production of azospirillum and rhizospium as the biofertilizers, which will be enhancing the growth of our crops. And the role of bioreactor in application part of the pathology, we will be mass culturing the trichoderma and pseudomonas as a biocontrol agents in the fruits and vegetable crops. And in tissue culture unit, we will be using it for cell suspension culture for the large number of secondary metabolites. And in photobioreactors, we will be using for single cell protein. And it is also used in biotransformation of compounds, more utilization in pharmaceutical industries like rosmarinic acid and etc. It is also an easier installation process. Labor will be reduced in this condition, and more successful biomass production than the use of plants as a biofactories.